played in sides now. EVOS on blue, Alter Ego on red. Already different bans now. EVOS were the ones to ban Harith both times on the red side. No Florin ban by EVOS in the first phase, but this time it's a Florin ban. So they're really careful now of the Roger. They're very cautious of that Roger-Florin combo.
Who do you think excels more, Roger Angela or Roger Florin?
I think the Roger-Florin, because Roger alone can't really fully become a full hyper carry, you know? So it's Roger, Florin, and then a team fight comp. So that everybody there can facilitate the Roger doing damage. Everybody there can also go in for the team fights. But one thing that has been left open, by the way, is the X-Borg. A key to victory, technically, for EVO's Glory. A key hero to pick for Fluffy. Alter Ego have banned it 2 games in a row with the Natan as well. They've decided to go for Lo Yi in the first 2 matches, but now it's EVOS who take it away from Alter Ego. Setting their sights probably on an X-Borg pick. The Alter Ego ban it out. But if they do, they will have to leave the Angela
or the Mathilda
open. If EVOS don't pick the Angela, Alter Ego might just go for Angeling again, but Barats is also not. It's still up for grabs. So far, you pick Barats, you win games. Alpha banned by Alter Ego. Big pressure on EVOS. What do they go for? First pick, and it's the Angela.
Opens up a new horizon for EVOS on how they want to strategize and navigate towards the drafting phase and into game number 3. For Alter Ego, still a Roger first pick up in their cards. This could be their next option, but it will be the Barats and the Mathilda.
Yeah.
So they will trade the Mathilda for the Roger for the Mathilda.
Very straightforward as well. We mentioned that the Angeling going up against the Barats is still going to cause problems. So a way to anticipate the Angeling combo is the way that Alter Ego did, right? Pick up the Barats and also the Mathilda. Let's see here, EVOS Glory. What will they do? Will they pick up a hero that is Arlen, Frederick? Oh, they're still going for it. They're stubborn. It seems like they have a way. Mirko, you're making a face. Maybe they know.
Talk to us, Mirko.
Of concern.
Wow, okay.
Oh my goodness.
Why is it so hard for Angeling to traverse around the Barats Mathilda?
Well, especially if Alter Ego can get their hands on an XP that clears really fast or can beat Terizla in lane. The Barats can invade very early on and just take buffs away from the lane. Get that massive advantage, stop this lane from even farming, and then just stomp them. That's what happened to Alter Ego when they were up against Bigatron Alpha. They went for the Angeling, and the Barats was the answer. Now with the Faramis as well. Mathilda, Faramis, and the Barats. There's a reason why Onyx always banned the Barats. Even Onyx struggle up against the Barats. So, and they're the ones that we look up to when it comes to those assassins.
Indeed. You have the assassin man himself, Kyrie, the master of assassins. But now, of course, the most used heroes for both players, your Dreams and Wrecked. For Dreams, it is the Minotaur with a win rate of 7.89%. But for Wrecked, it is Chip. We did quite question that, you know. We haven't seen him play that Chip that much, but it is now his most used hero with a 57.14% win rate.
Still 57.14% win rate. I think this is not just on the Chip. This is like his win rate.
Yeah.
So not that far compared to Dreams, actually. 57.89, 57.14. A higher average DPM compared to Dreams, but lower average GPM with KD also. Still better for him. Moscow banned out by EVOS, though. The respect given over the highs. We don't want that purified Moscow. That's disgusting. You beat us with it.
For Alter Ego, they ban out the Roger as well, right? Yeah. So this will be finally a no Roger game. Again, opening up new angles for this draft to be crafted. I mean, for sustainability, they kind of beat EVOS to it. Like, they have the Angela, the Love Waves, but then again, you have the Faramis as the prolong and enabler.
The hunter of all the evil gods.
And if you look at the composition here from Alter Ego, it's a very invasive composition, right? Especially when you have already Netherrealm in your kit, you will look for aggression towards the jungle of Link here, especially. So EVOS Glory in the second phases of the picks, they need to have and pick someone that can counter-react towards that aggression.
And the ban out of Paquito, like what Mirko said, they needed an XP that could beat Terizla and clear waves fastly. Paquito is one of the options. But for Alter Ego, they'll pick up for themselves a Claude snatched away from the hands of Brand. So now what will Brands play?
I think at this point, Brands can actually, or EVOS Glory can actually go for the Lilia to provide more pressure in the mid lane to stop any possible attempts of that invade for the mid lane. And then in the gold lane, they can go for Brody, but then they will severely lack in the tankiness department, so the Angela might actually just be a mid laner here. They can go technically for the Brody in the gold lane. He can bully this Claude and then have that Ling kill pressure to help gank in the bottom lane if Alter Ego goes for the neutral objective. So that could be a way that they can take this. I'm thinking of other choices here for Rogue. Oh, Tigreal and the Bruno. All right, so not the Brody. They go for the Tigreal instead, but this time the Tig definitely not as valuable as it was before. The Claude will just very easily go Purify, and he won't have to risk anything with the Purify on the Claude.
Yeah. You have Purify, you have BMI, you also have Netherrealm, and the Tono's Welcome. So a lot of counterplays towards the Implosion. I mean, Dreams was on point with the Tigreal last game. This time it's a different condition, and this does indicate that Angela will go mid.
Yep, and again,
Arlet?
apart from that, Faramis and Mathilda can rock the Purify as well, which makes it harder for the Tig to have a impact with the Purify still active, right? So let's see here, last pick for Alter Ego. They're looking for an EXP, potentially if the Barats does go to the jungle, and it will be the Yuzong. A very good counter against the Bruno.
That's really good. Another Bruno will have to ask himself, Flicker or Purify, with the Yuzong now picked up by Alter Ego. Good kill pressure in the gold lane, but Alter Ego with the Mathilda can stop that kill pressure from happening, give the Claude the necessary space to farm up. Oh, this is a tough one. I think Alter Ego might have gone at a better draft this game.
Be a draft index now for both teams. It is still
It's mixed here
a 6.5
for both.
Yeah,
And
both.
same counter index still. It'll come down to the execution, but Alter Ego, Barats in the jungle, they know how it's done. They got bullied by a Barats in the jungle when they tried the Angeling, so they have a blueprint of how to beat this composition.
Emergency calls for survivability. This is the mission to get out of the red zone. Will Alter Ego or EVOS Glory take the win? Game number 3, EVOS Glory against Alter Ego.
For the final time in the series, ladies and gentlemen, Land of Dawn, here we go. Will it be Alter Ego who finds a reverse sweep, making a very great story, or will it be EVOS Glory bouncing back after suffering a huge loss in that second game?
You can already see Rekt is trying to disturb Annabelle and trying to take the purple buff. Expect a lot of actions in the purple buff, because this will be a pivotal part of Annabelle's gameplay, because he needs the energy going.
And already, such an interesting choice from Annabelle, by the way. Kyrie on the Ling actually opted to go for the QC. Annabelle's going for Weakness Finder on this Ling, so a little bit more utility, but less survivability. On top of that, though, we also have the Bruno who opted to go for Weapon Mastery, so he's actually going for that late game. He wants to, or actually not late game, just mid game, and some crit as well. For highs, still the same. It's just the agility with the Wilderness Blessing.
Taz already counter jungling into Alter Ego's jungle. And Annabelle just looking for an angle. This would be him, the focus of the gameplay of EVOS, trying to protect him with the Angela pickup as well. Clocken, he has to be proactive everywhere around the map. At least come the mid game, come the late game, you have that extra side lane pressure with the Ling just pushing around, shoving waves up and down.
Angela 3-0 for Clocken. Whenever he picks the Angela, it's almost a sure win for EVOS Glory. So we'll see if that will translate over to this game as well. Fluffy goes for the fight. Wow, flickers out.
stunned up as well. Daytona's welcome activated. 3 members. He's on Fluffy. This time he will fall as Taz collects the first blood for Alter Ego.
Give away the first blood, and now eyes on the turtle. This could be the first neutral objective for Alter Ego. That was an easy pickoff against Fluffy.
And an instant response from Annabelle. Going to counter jungle, invading. Good read by Krite.
Fighting visions here. 2v1. Oh, Annabelle. Pinch poise to get out of that 2v1 situation. And now it is actually Taz who is going for the invade as expected. Barats, Faramis, and Mathilda. One way to approach and invade. Will they commit to a fight though is the question. It's the 3v3 for now. They both want the orange. EVOS Glory, I don't think they have enough firepower as Pi already joins in as well. That's a delay from Tigro with the Sacred Hammer.
Reset? Oh, no.
But I don't think they want to fight here. Alter Ego will win out the orange buff.
They'll give it away, they concede it, because at the stage of the game, when it's a 3v3, you don't have enough damage to outscale or outdamage the players of Alter Ego, especially at the stage of the game for Annabelle. He's just gonna counter invade, counter jungle, get this orange buff for himself. So yeah, again, a trade up in the board.
Yeah, actually not that bad for Annabelle here because he is able to get the orange buff, even though it is delayed. But in the bottom lane, this lane is going to be quite interesting because it will have a big impact on the rest of the map later on. Also in the gold lane, Heinz doing a good job actually so far against the Bruno, not fully bullied by Brands. But Taz, this is it. This is the Barats special.
See here, Dreams. What will he be able to cook? Oh, Tempest Blade popped. Dreams quite low. Implosion towards the backside to buy time. Netherrealm now used up by Krite. Alter Ego though surviving. That's the penalty zone. But the Blazing Duet will be there. Not enough damage. But Taz will fall. Fluffy will be the next victim, but not for Fluffy as he claims the double Pi. Dove in a little bit too deep as Bronze claims the extra gold.
Good counter engage from Fluffy with the 3-man penalty zone. And a follow-up was there, double kill for him. And Pi, he dove way too deep towards the tier 2 turret.
We were talking about how the XP matchup will be big and Fluffy came in first. That actually changed the tide because Alter Ego, they were able to steal away the purple buff already. That would have been horrible for Annabelle if they weren't able to at least get a trade. And now, so far, gold-wise, they're doing good. But still, without a purple buff, it's still a loss for the lane because Alter Ego can continue to scale. But look, they're forcing Taz to use Retri, and look where Annabelle is.
Yeah, look, he's the one who's trying to assassinate the purple buff, not the players. He is starving. Take a look at Highs, though, with the juke. The BMI there, good reaction and good prediction. But yeah, I mean, good, slight compensation. They lost the Newt, but at least Annabelle claims the purple.
It's a trade of priorities. I mean, yeah, on a macro scale, you do lose the turtle, but at least you can keep on going with the purple buff. But again, Alter Ego is just constantly on the invade, on the hunt, just disrupting this purple buff of Annabelle's. So you kind of have to assign a member to just try to spot it out and peel it off. For Annabelle, trying to look for a 1v1.
They need to freeze the purple buff in their own jungle, I think, right? And just started focusing on the invade. So when Ling want to counter jungle, no purple buff. Because they are freezing the small buff there.
That was what we saw, I think, Alter Ego against Onyx, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, where they froze the purple buff. Just It took like, I don't know, a minute for Onyx to spot it out, so that could be an option for Annabelle to not counter jungle and Alter Ego. Maybe they could start implementing it now.
But EVOS are scaling quite well right now. I mean, they're training quite well, and Alter Ego, you would expect them to have a bigger lead at this point with this Barats. Highs and Brands both doing okay in farm, and Annabelle, even though, yes, this purple buff has been taken away, he actually stole the enemy purple buff, so it's still kind of like level at this point for both junglers even. If you take a look at the damage dealt, it's been Fluffy. That changed the fight, that penalty zone onto 3. But here it is, with the purple buff taken away, with Annabelle's purple buff spawning in a little bit later. Alter Ego, I think at this point, they need to prioritize the purple buff over the turtle. They need to try to shut down this Ling. But even then, Brands has been quite good. Like, he's on fire now, and oh no, wait.
See here, the Tuna's welcome does not connect onto any
Big
EVOS
resource.
members, but now it will focus on towards the turtle. Ling now will be able to find his own purple buff. But it seems like EVOS Glory, they will not contest here. Taz secures with the retribution quite comfortably.
But it's traded for a purple.
That's, again, a compensation for Anavel, keeping him going in this game. But so far for Alter Ego, perfect neutrals. They have 3 into their names now. This could amp up their gold, but again, that was kind of like an EVOS contest angle because they're able to burn away the Tunnel's welcome, but oh, Fluffy.
The Dino, the flying Dino here with the Matilda actually will be able to caught Fluffy off guard there. Will still be able to hold on towards that flicker though. But yeah, that was the threat of Barats and Matilda combined.
That Circling Eagle is just way too strong for Alter Ego as an initiation tool.
On top of that, I really am curious to see what the Ling is building, and it's actually already very different. From Kyrie, we have seen the Ling build that has prioritized the Defiant Blade damage with the Endless Battle, but now, it seems he may be, Anavel, going for the attack speed build. He has a Haas Claws and a Berserker's Fury, so he wants to utilize that attack speed a bit more. With the Weakness Finder, it does make sense. Meanwhile, for Brand, same items. Haas Claws into the Berserker's Fury already too. Anavel's got to be careful.
Five-man rotating Tempest of Blade just to clear.
Woo!
He was able to clear that top side, and Alter Ego didn't really find anything. Meanwhile, Bruno actually got a turret bottom side of the map.
Soaking the pressure, enabling Brands to be able to get a cross-map play in which he got the tier 2 turret. Now, Alter Ego, I'd say that's a net loss for them, as Anavel is just able to escape freely to the Lord Pit.
Yeah, free purple too. Good cover by Fluffy and Dreams instantly. Right after they get the trade in the bottom lane, they send these members up towards the top side of the map for Anavel to pick up the purple buff. So, EVOS have done all the right things so far, by the way, up against this composition from Alter Ego. They got a tier 2 in the bottom lane, and now that's a bigger advantage because they have a Ling with the purple buff as well. The mobility difference is going to play a big factor into how EVOS and Alter Ego take these fights. Bottom lane pushed up, shoved in by Alter Ego, but managed instantly by the Ling. And they can continuously do this. They have better mobility compared to Alter Ego.
Perhaps are looking for a play here, looking for fights. They want to neutralize the economy. Actually, the angle here, the opening, they have yet to find in this game.
Alter Ego has to respond to the far lanes pushing up. I mean, yeah, they could shove it, but then again, you have the mobility like Mirko said. You know, it's almost the same like how Kyrie operates with the Ling. Just play on the side lanes, and once a neutral objective contest happens, you can just freely walk through the walls, and you have that movement, you have that mobility that could always enable you to do 2 tasks at once. So multitasking is a middle name of a Ling, I'd say. You know, just being able to operate on the side lanes and then jumping in to when your teammates need you.
And Anavel's got the Bruno build, by the way. Haas Claws, Berserker's Fury, Melfic Roar. That's the Bruno build. They have the same exact build right now. So we'll see how this plays out. This is definitely a new version of the Ling. We've only seen Kyrie's version of the Ling with the Defiant Blade, Endless Battle, you know, more of the ability damage. Fluffy, engaged on.
Getting jumped on and also munched on here. They want to commit on towards Fluffy. He will fall first as Taz collects the kill, but what will it do? Tempest Blade knocking up 3 members now. That was clutch, but it seems like the Dino will fly towards the back. Oh, take a look at Baranz in the back doing work, but Clockum will secure Taz. Good Purify there, but it seems like Anavel will not be able to secure the kill. 2 for 2. Jungler for Alter Ego gets taken out.
Taz finally falls down. He was a sliver away from death. Gets the guiding wind back to him, but again, good dive from Anavel and Clocken to find their way back to Taz, and the kill has been secured. Brand's also picking up a kill on the way, even though Pai was able to just dive into the turret.
Wow, and Brands too, man. That play in the bottom lane, or in the mid lane when Heist tried to dive him, he got so much lifesteal from the fully stacked skill 1 and his passive. able to crit onto Highs and technically outplay him. Luckily for Alter Ego, they had Pi still in the Black Dragon form to chase him down. And unluckily for Brands, he actually completed the Wind of Nature as he died. That would have come in handy if he got it right on time to fend off from the dive from the Black Dragon form. But now with the Wind of Nature already in the hands of Brands, it's going to be quite tough for Highs. Because Highs, the reason he has Wind of Nature earlier compared to Brands is because he actually sacrificed the Corrosion Scythe first, right? He went for the DHS, Golden Staff, and then straight to the Wind of Nature. So he prioritized defensiveness. That's why maybe his damage wasn't enough fully to take Brands on 1v1. And it was already baited earlier by the Ling as well. But Alter Ego, they're still staying decisive every single time. After they shove the wave, they go straight for the Lord, not giving the Ling any time to utilize that mobility advantage.
Lord take is important. I mean, it was delayed a few times, and now Alter Ego set their sights on the Lord. EVOS constantly on the response. But now, they don't really have Annabelle operating in the side lanes. It's shoved in by Highs and both Wrecked as well. So now Annabelle called upon, and Alter Ego still indecisive whether or not they want to finish this Lord. Or maybe they'll wait for a bit and maybe a pull. Oh, okay. Jump in.
Exactly. Daytona's welcome on towards Fluffy, who has the immortality. Quicker. Daytona's penalty zone now on towards 3. It seems like the follow-up damage was not there. Black Dragon form committed. Take a look at Annabelle with the help of the Angela. Looking for an assassination attempt, but Alter Ego, they are a little bit too bulky. Oh, implosion on towards 2. That was beautiful. With all of the damage, it was not going to be enough just yet. No! Annabelle finds an assassination on towards the dragon, and he is too clean with the dexterity there, and finds an angle to escape.
He's so clean on the movements, time and time again. He's basically an escape artist with this Ling. And the Lord now back to ground 0.
Massive advantage now. Krite doesn't have his ultimate. Pi is down as a 4v5. And Blockon has the hard guard. Annabelle can go ham again.
Brands is just free hitting as well in the front side of the map. Now, oh my goodness.
Again?
Welcome, Fluffy looking for a tank in the front side. High's free hitting. Not enough damage here. And Alter Ego, they will try to stabilize here as Pi is back in the land of Dawn. EVOS wants to rush the Lord. They're trying to speedrun it, and they got it.
Oh, EVOS.
Alter Ego, they want a business. Placing the Wind of Nature as well. Dreams looking for a play. In the backside, Annabelle finds a kill on towards Highs. Now Annabelle a little bit stuck, but he has energy to get out. EVOS Glory, they might want more here as the mid is actually looking very juicy, and Browns will get it.
Annabelle is so slippery. It's hard to catch this man. Time and time again, getting the perfect assassinations. That one was on Highs.
And now an endless battle to finish it off with a BOD earlier. That was the power spike. That's why he was able to melt down Pi. He prioritized the Malefic Roar first because he knows that it's going to be really tough to go on Highs with the Wind of Nature, with the Netherrealm. He knows that it is going to be a better option to go for Pi instead, to go for these frontliners who have bitten off too much than they could chew. Pi, Black Dragon form, in instantly with the disengage, he's already at low HP. You capitalize on that, you punish him, and my god, that's a 5,000 gold lead on Annabelle, by the way. But Brands as well, that DHS from him is great to deal with this front line. So far, they've been doing so well, and Highs, every single time he actually looks to jump in, looks to dive towards towards EVO's Glory, it's still really hard because there are Wind of Nature is already for the side of EVO's Glory, and the healing constantly from Clockwood too.
Penalty zone on towards the Lord is still up. EVO's Glory is able to find the first baser in the game. And Alter Ego finally takes care of that Lord. And EVO's Glory is just now free roaming around the jungles of Alter Ego.
Zoning ultimate from Fluffy, burns out his penalty zone, trying to get the turret as well, and they did just that. Now, an advantage for EVOS Glory, maximizing it with the Lord that they were able to get. And of course, the tier 3 turret now taken away from Alter Ego.
Yeah, it's a base turret, a big one in the far lane. So EVO's Glory now have the same advantage, but even bigger. the far lane with the mobility of the Ling. Now it's going to be a threat towards the end itself instead of just the base turret. Super Minions constantly pushing there as well, so technically even for Annabelle, he doesn't have to constantly go towards the bottom lane, and Alter Ego, it creates more problems for them. They've been shoving this constantly. They've been able to manage the maneuverability of the Ling. Oh, we got a replay, so here, let's see exactly what happened. I don't think this is the right play to actually take, but yeah, they also lost it out completely here. Highs already used the Wind of Nature. I wanted to see it all the way from the start, how they baited in, how they got Pi. But now we're back to real time, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, because when Pi got picked off, that was just done for the turtle fight. Alter Ego had already used the Nether Realm too. Taz was already super low, chunked again. And now with that advantage in the bottom lane, like we mentioned, the Ling technically doesn't even need to be there. It's going to be constantly slow pushing, but him being there will mean that it's now even more guaranteed.
It's getting harder for Alter Ego to just walk into this Lord pit. I mean, EVOS, they're fine with just poking down the Lord. And while that happens, you know, you have Annabelle working on the side lanes. And so far, Highs has been shadowed by Wrecked and trying to push up the far lanes. So, of course, for Alter Ego, they lose 2 members. When they want to engage the Lord, it's practically a 3v4 if you have Annabelle on the side lanes as well. So, now for the Lord, it's next on their sights. They're taking this slow, but Highs is just stepping forward.
Some big damage.
A lot of damage.
Now they're back to a stalemate, just going back and forth. Having that advantage doesn't mean that it's clear for EVOS to just go for the Lord. Obviously, the way that Alter Ego have been handling it, it's kind of the same now. It's just a bit riskier to leave that lane to go for a team fight. But it's ultimately still that stalemate where Alter Ego will have the Claude in the bottom lane with the Mathilda constantly. So it's going to be tough even for EVOS Glory to look for an assassination in the bottom lane because I guess this is also the disadvantage that you have when you go for Angela mid. There's no magic damage, so Highs is clean. Oh my, what? Did you see that damage from the Bruno from Brands? It almost one-tapped him, bro.
One ball is all it took to take down Highs to half HP. And he's practically out of the fight. No, he isn't, because he has the healing. The Mathilda is
Everything put on towards Fluffy. Will lose his immortality this time, but take a look at the cover. EVOS Glory, they will not let Fluffy die in vain. Alter Ego reposition also. EVOS Glory now pokes around the Lord. This is an evolved Lord, by the way. Not an enhanced Lord anymore, and Alter Ego, they are just stabilizing at this point. Far lane is heavily favoring the White Tigers.
It's cat and mouse game at this point. They're just trying to wait for someone to screw up, and you know, the team that makes the errors will then react to that. Because so far, they're just baiting ultimates, baiting resources, and this time it's EVOS kick-starting the Lord.
Oh, Pi doesn't have the Black Dragon form. That's why he's sent in the bottom lane, but I don't think this is a good one.
Let's see. Daytona's welcome connecting on towards the Terizla. Good knock-up on towards Dreams as well. Nether Realm committed early. Black Dragon form now from the flanks. Fluffy quite low, flickers out of the way. Dreams, first one to fall. Right, actually survived that one alongside Taz. EVOS Glory, it's a 5v4. Alter Ego does not take the bite. And it's a win for Alter Ego.
Wow, again a deadlock. A stalemate for both teams. Only losing Dreams in the process. Again, they have to start from square one. Resetting this Lord, doing it again, all over again. This time, resources blown. Could be a 50-50 fight, both teams.
They want to take this 4v5. It's right here, right now.
Let's see, Fluffy opening things up, providing vision. Annabelle ready to jump in towards Taz. Jonas welcome does not connect. Oh my lord! Tempest the Blade with the Dukes as well. Will be able to find 2 members.
Annabelle.
And Clocken secures the 3rd. Annabelle with the triple looking for the Maniac as Pi will try to buy time for his teammate. Here is Dive, but Clocken will secure the kill. Pride is back on the board, so no official wiped out because of the Fermis passive. But it seems like now EVOS Glory, they're eyeing on one thing. Lord neglecting the main base is so juicy right now. As seems like 20 seconds will not be enough for Kurai to hold on. And this is it.
Wow.
EVOS Glory with the 3rd game. They have turned up.